Have you ever seen like the numbers of people that are working in chocolate, that are working in like horrible conditions?
Mm-mm.
Have you ever heard of this? Jamie, find out about chocolate. Someone was telling me that chocolate, in many ways, I have to be careful about this because I'm not sure if they're right. Let's look up what it is. But they were connecting, we were talking about cobalt mines. And they said, have you ever looked into chocolate and chocolate production? It's like, here it is. Mars Wrigley factory fined after 2 workers fall into chocolate vat. Well, that's not it. I think they're talking about cacao farming. And that I think he was insinuating that they used slave labor at some of those places.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure. I mean, that's the, God, who was I talking to, man? God damn it, I have such a soggy brain. Oh, man, they were talking about how they...
Child labor and slavery in the chocolate industry. This is it. Jesus Christ. Okay, can you make that larger for my shitty eyes? Chocolate is a product of the cacao bean, which grows primarily in the tropical climates of Western Africa, Asia, and Latin America. The cacao bean is more commonly referred to as cocoa. So that is the term that will be used throughout this article. Western African countries, mostly Ghana and the Ivory Coast, supply about 70% of the world's cocoa. Is it coca or cocoa? How do you say that?
I don't know.
Because I always say cocoa, like
I
hot
don't know.
cocoa.
Cacao?
Cacao?
This shitty, healthy chocolate?
C-O-C-O-A, but it's not cacao because the cacao bean, and then it's coca.
Coca.
Okay. The coca they grow, sorry everybody, chocolate they grow and harvest is sold to a majority of chocolate companies, including the largest in the world. In the past few decades, a handful of organizations and journalists have exposed the widespread use of child labor and in some cases slavery on coca farms in Western Africa. Child labor has been found on coca farms in Cameroon, Guinea, Nigeria, Sierra Leone, although since most of Western Africa is coca grown in Ghana and the Ivory Coast, the majority of child labor cases have been documented in those 2 countries.
Fuck.
Yeah.
You don't, like,
It says Brazil, too. Scroll up a little bit.
You just don't think that, do you?
No.
When you're eating a Kit Kat.
In recent years, evidence has also surfaced of both child labor and slavery on coca farms in Brazil. Coca workers there face many of the same abuses as those on coca farms in Western Africa. Fuck. And then Latin America, too, they're saying.
$1 per day.
Jesus Christ.
$1 per day. A Kit Kat's 4 days' work.
Isn't it crazy that chocolate is like love and there's like chocolate stores, come in and buy chocolate. Like
Valentine's
if you walk
Day.
by a chocolate store, you never say, oh, child labor.
Oh, yeah, a lot of kids died for that fucking chocolate you're giving for your...
A lot of little, tiny, unformed bodies are being forced to dig holes in the ground.
Dig holes, just getting
Carry
sick,
shit.
getting malaria.
Ugh.
Yeah,
This episode is brought to you by Athletic Greens. You've heard me talk.
Oh God, I'm sorry whoever told me this. They went on a tour of the Colosseums in Italy, and the person giving the tour was talking about how, the horrible shit the Romans used to do in the Colosseums, it was just pure brutality. And the guide says, but it's just as brutal now, but in a different way. And that's what she's talking about. It's like, yeah, we don't have Colosseums where we're like throwing Christians to lions and laughing as they get eaten by a lion. But most things that you are indulging in is just something fun. A little bit of chocolate, your fucking iPhones, the cobalt, whatever it is just soaked in misery and violence and suffering. Like the whole thing still is interconnected, yeah. I mean, now that being said, what are you supposed to do about that? Are you gonna stop eating chocolate or using your phone?
Well, that's what's crazy. It's like they've got us addicted. Particularly, well, chocolate would be an easier one, but phones. We are all willingly addicted to these things.